You're sitting in a meeting. Nothing is wrong. Nobody is yelling. Nobody is threatening you. And yet your heart is pounding. Your palms are damp. Your jaw is tight. Something in you is bracing for an attack that is never going to come. That feeling has a name. But the real answer for why it happens is far stranger than stress or anxiety. It goes back further than language, further than fire. It goes back to a time when something in the dark actually wanted to eat you. Your brain is ancient, not metaphorically ancient, structurally, chemically, mechanically ancient. The part of your brain responsible for that pounding heart, those sweaty palms, that coiled spring tension in your chest is called the amygdala. It is a small, almond-shaped cluster of neurons buried deep in the middle of your brain. And it has not changed much in 200 million years. 200 million years. Let that settle for a moment. The dinosaurs were not yet extinct. Mammals had barely arrived. The ancestors of everything you would eventually become were small, shivering, nocturnal creatures running through the dark, trying not to get killed. And the amygdala was already there, already doing its job, already scanning, always scanning. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping the amygdala, and what he found changed how we understand fear. The amygdala, he discovered, does not think. It does not reason. It does not weigh evidence. It reacts. And it reacts faster than conscious thought is even possible. Before your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, has even registered that something is wrong, your amygdala has already fired the alarm, already flooded your body with adrenaline, already started redirecting blood away from your stomach and into your legs so you can run. This is called the low road. Ledoux called it that because it is a direct, fast, unfiltered pathway from the sensory organs straight to the amygdala, bypassing all rational processing. The high road, the slower one, routes information through your cortex first. Checks for context. Considers logic. But by the time the high road arrives, the low road has already made the decision. Your body was built for speed, not accuracy. Think about what that means. It means your fear response was calibrated not for the world you live in, but for the world your ancestors lived in. A world where a split second of hesitation meant death. A rustling in the grass. A shadow that moved wrong. A sound you did not recognize. In that world, the brain that panicked first and asked questions later survived. The brain that paused to think it through got eaten. So your brain learned to err on the side of alarm. Every single time. Evolutionary psychologist Mark Schaller at the University of British Columbia calls this the behavioral immune system, the way your brain evolved a hair-trigger threat detection system so sensitive it fires even when there is nothing there. In one of his studies, participants who were made to feel physically vulnerable began seeing threat in completely neutral faces. The brain did not wait for evidence. The brain manufactured threat from thin air because in the ancestral environment, a false alarm cost you nothing but a racing heart. A missed alarm cost you everything. Your brain is still running that math. Every day. In every room you walk into. Here is something that will make your skin prickle. Your amygdala cannot reliably tell the difference between a physical threat and a social one. Between a predator and a colleague who has not responded to your email in 3 days. Between a shadow in the dark and a comment in a meeting that felt slightly wrong. The circuitry is the same. The chemical cascade is identical. The cortisol, the adrenaline, the elevated heart rate, the tunnel vision, all of it fires whether the threat is a lion or a performance review. Social rejection, researchers have found, activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA showed in a landmark 2003 study that being excluded from a simple online ball-tossing game lit up the same regions of the brain as a physical injury. Your brain does not distinguish between being left out and being hit. Both register as damage. Both trigger the alarm. Because for your ancestors, social rejection was physical danger. Being cast out from the group meant dying alone. It meant no protection from predators, no shared food, no warmth. The tribe was survival. And so the brain evolved to treat the loss of social connection with exactly as much urgency as a wound. This is why loneliness feels like pain. It is pain. It is an ancient warning system screaming at you to fix the problem before it kills you. And it gets stranger. Your amygdala does not only react to things that are actually happening. It reacts to things you imagine might happen. It reacts to things you remember happening. It reacts to things you read about, watch on a screen, scroll past on a phone. The threat detection system evolved for a world where the most dangerous things were right in front of you, immediate and physical. It was never designed to process a global news feed. It was never designed to hold the weight of every catastrophe on the planet simultaneously. It was never asked to process 14 hours of threat signals a day. But it does. And it tries to respond to all of it. Researcher Elissa Appel at the University of California, San Francisco has spent years studying the biological effects of psychological stress, and what she found is that the body genuinely cannot distinguish between real and perceived threat. When you lie awake at 3 in the morning rehearsing a conversation that has not happened yet, your body releases the same stress hormones as if the threat were real. Your heart rate elevates. Your inflammatory markers rise. Your immune system begins to suppress. Your body is preparing for a fight that exists only in your mind, and it pays for that preparation in real biological currency. Your ancestors worried about the next hour. You are wired to worry about the next decade. And then there is the darkness. Fear of the dark is not childish. It is ancient. For almost all of human evolutionary history, night was when the predators came. Lions hunt at night. Leopards hunt at night. The big cats that shaped your ancestors' terror were most active in the hours after sunset. And your amygdala remembers, not consciously, not as a thought, but as a body-level knowledge that gets louder every time the light disappears. Studies have shown that people rate strangers as more threatening in dim light than in bright light. Moral judgments become harsher in the dark. Risk tolerance drops. The same face that looks neutral in daylight looks menacing at dusk. Your brain is not malfunctioning. Your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. It is scanning harder, flagging more, trusting less, because darkness was when your ancestors were most likely to die. You carry that history in your body every time you check the locks before bed. So what do you do with a brain that is 200 million years old, living in a world that is 200 years new? The first thing is understanding. Understanding that the alarm is real, but the threat is often not. When your amygdala fires in a meeting, in a traffic jam, in the middle of a sleepless night, it is not lying to you. It is doing its job. It is a guardian that was built for a world that no longer exists, but it has not gotten the memo. It is loyal to a version of reality that kept your ancestors alive, and it will not stop doing its job just because you asked it to. The second thing is what neuroscientists call top-down regulation. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that arrived late in evolution, has the ability to send inhibitory signals back down to the amygdala. To say, in the language of neurons, I see what you're doing, and I'm choosing to override you. This is not willpower. This is not positive thinking. This is a structural feature of your brain that requires practice to use. Slow breathing activates it. Naming the emotion activates it. Deliberately orienting to sensory details in the room activates it. You're not calming down. You're engaging one ancient system to regulate another. And the third thing is recognizing what your body is actually doing when it sends you that signal. It is not betraying you. It is not broken. It is not weak. It is the same system that kept your lineage alive through 200 million years of predators, famines, plagues, and ice ages. It has never failed the species. It is just trying to protect something it loves in the only language it has ever known. Tonight, when you feel that tightening in your chest, that prickle at the back of your neck, that low-grade hum of dread you cannot name, you will know what it is. It is not you falling apart. It is every ancestor you have ever had, reaching forward through time, still trying to keep you alive.